Gotta get the dog to the vet. This could be a real-life threatening situation, and one that's more common than you may realize. You've been outdoors walking your pet or your dog, and now it's sick. Could it have eaten the toxic plant that we're searching for today? Hey folks, I'm Glenn.
I'm Maureen. Welcome back. And if you're new to our channel, we're all about sharing our adventures in the great outdoors around our homestead and off-grid cabin right here in Ontario, Canada.
So consider subscribing and ring that notification bell so you won't miss anything. Yes, indeed, we have 40 acres that we love sharing with you, but today we're out on an excursion right here on Cabin Life. So, you've been outdoors or walking your pet or dog and you see that it's sick or in distress. Well, of course, the first thing you want to do is take your pet to the vet. It is possible that your pet ate some toxic plants and it could be in a life-threatening situation. And today, we're going to show you a few of those toxic plants that could very well be in your area. So you'll want to watch this entire video. Jake, our 2-year-old black lab here, he's fine and he's with us today, but he's going to be staying behind while we walk on our excursion. Black flies are out in droves today. Now, because we're out specifically looking for Canada yew, we're going to talk about this amazing, toxic, and yet medicinal plant that was once effectively used in treating cancer and was very much sought after by Big Pharma. Today, we're looking for Canada yew, also known as ground hemlock. The yew, spelled Y-E-W, is a common species of bushes and trees from the genus Taxus, found in many regions all over the world. It's quite possible that one of these types could be in your own neighborhood, and we'll get to that. While each variety of the yew plant is unique, they all carry the same toxin, taxane. As I said, there's many types of yew, like the English yew, found in the UK. It's huge, slow growing, and it's a big tree, and some of them are very ancient, centuries old. Often they're found around churchyards and cemeteries, and to some, the English yew is known as the sacred tree, and to others it's known as the tree of death. And the English yew is just one type. You know, it's amazing how many varieties there are around the world. There's the Japanese yew, the Irish yew, the Hicks yew, the Pacific yew, and many other small shrub varieties that grow all over the USA, and not only in the wild, but there are ornamental bushes that could be growing in your own backyard. You might want to check that out when you're walking your pets and get to know the varieties of yew so you can be aware of this toxic plant. As far as I know, all of these varieties of yew are toxic when ingested in sufficient quantity by humans or animals. And this includes the variety that we're searching for right here in Ontario, Canada, the Canada yew, otherwise known as ground hemlock.
Hey, don't you just love picking raspberries? Well, coming up, we're going to talk about a look-alike leaf that you don't want to touch while you're in the raspberry bush.
See all that green on the forest floor? That's what we're looking for. all this. The needles, wood, bark, and roots are all toxic, as far as I know, and signs of toxicity include increased heart rate, vomiting, nausea, diarrhea, and difficulty breathing. While some say that the berries can be eaten if you spit out the pits, I highly recommend not doing so. As you can see, it grows along the ground out from a central crown or a central point. This one here and this one here joins over there in a big circle. So they are not necessarily toxic to the touch. You can see the bark, the stem. Here's the upper sides are shiny, undersides are dull. Upper side, see how shiny it is? This is a coniferous tree with the longer needles, the balsam fir. Now they look similar to the yew, which is right beside it here. But you can see the color's deeper green. Here's the new growth on the yew. So this is the old growth of the yew, and this is last year's growth, a little bit lighter in color. Some use the yew tree or bush, branches and needles as a smudge. And if you plan on doing so, I'd suggest that you do that smudge outdoors since the smoke is toxic.
If you have ornamental yew bushes or hedges around your property and you're trimming them up, make certain that all the trimmings are disposed of properly so that the animals don't get into them and chew them. Look at the nest!
Oh yeah.
Oh, is that ever cute? Must be last year's.
Birch bark, good for starting fires. That's all I'll take from this tree. There's some big trees I saw back there. We'll get some more. Part of the beauty when you're going out looking for different wild species, foraging. You take in the different sights and sounds along the way. Yes, it's always an adventure, but it's always a nicer, more pleasant adventure as you take in the details as you go.
What a gorgeous day. Black flies are out. They're not biting, but they're out. It's really nice coming out and foraging for plants. We're seeing so many different types of plants. At home I had thought that we had the ostrich fern, but it turns out to be the bracken fern. So I'm keeping my eye open for some ostrich ferns. But there's so many different types of plants, and they're all just starting to come to life now, and it's really beautiful. I just love coming out for these walks and seeing what we can find. We saw a hawk earlier. Maybe we'll see some other wildlife.
You know, nature's amazing, like how plants have built-in ways to protect themselves and protect the species through self-defense mechanisms and for propagation. Like some plants get thorns, and other plants tend to be quite nutritious and bear great fruit. Some are beneficial and even medicinal, while others are toxic.
Some plants bear sweet fruits, while others poisonous berries.
And some of those plants can be lookalikes. Like, for example, raspberries. When out picking raspberries, be careful not to confuse its lookalike leaves, which are poison ivy. There's actually a number of plants that you have to be careful of that are lookalikes. They have toxic cousins or toxic lookalikes. So when you're out looking for the good plants, you got to be careful that you don't confuse it with something that would be toxic. For instance,
don't confuse wild onions with crow poison, or chaga with some types of fungus,
don't confuse wild grapes with Virginia creeper,
or black nightshade with deadly nightshade.
There's also Queen Anne's lace, which is also known as wild carrot, not to be confused with poison hemlock, which is different from the Canada yew ground hemlock plant that we've shown you today.
And also, if you're looking for spruce needles for tea, don't confuse them with ground hemlock or Canada yew.
When out foraging, don't confuse the ostrich fern fiddleheads with bracken fern fiddleheads. These are just a few of the lookalikes, so always be careful and know what you're foraging for, and always be 100%. And always be sure of what your pets are chewing on when they're outside or in the wilderness.
It's a good thing to know your plants so you're aware of what's healthy or what's hazardous. We all love our pets and we want to keep them safe and we want to protect them.
We have a motto, and that is, nature should be appreciated, shared, and respected. It should be preserved, cared for, and protected for future generations.
If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you haven't already done so. And remember, click on that notification bell so that you won't miss anything on the homestead and off-grid cabin.
That's all for now. I'm Glenn.
I'm Maureen.
We'll see you next time. Over and out.
Take care.
Ooh, black flies are out. Well, because we're actually... Now, because we're out specifically looking for Canada yew today, we're going to talk about this amazing, yet... Okay. Okay. I can't really see.
No doubt.
Ugh. Okay, go. Oh, no. Okay.
If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. And remember to click on that notification bell so that you won't miss anything.
What am I supposed to say?
We'll see you next time.